we are going to write a book together, the whole thing from start to finish. I actually think that I'm going to get us from creation all the way to like third draft-ish, because once the line editing starts, it's basically what you guys know and love. But up until that point, I get so many questions. Sheridan, how do you do this? Sheridan, how do you do that? And I'm not mad at answering questions. I just feel like I'm always answering them, and I feel like they're not really doing anybody any good anymore. One thing to hear it, and it's another thing to see it. So being the demonstrator, so we are creating an idea today. No time limit or anything, because I am sick of timing myself. I deserve a break. Our goal right now is standalone fantasy that can serve as a passion project. Those three things. Let's get started, I guess. I saw something on Tumblr a bit ago, and it was like, here are unique things that you could do in a fantasy society, like instead of blacksmith or something like that. And one of those things that stuck with me was like starcatcher, but like falling star kind of thing. And I really like the idea of that. So we're gonna go with that. We're gonna say that our FMC is a starcatcher. What kind of would be, I'm gonna think my way through this entire thing out loud so you know where my thought process is. So thinking in terms of a starcatcher on a day-to-day basis, a professor of mine once said that you know who someone is at their heart, when I disagree with this, but like it's good for storytelling. You know who someone is, you know your character based on what they're doing at like 7 a.m., noon, 5 p.m., and 11 p.m. or something like that. I don't remember specifically what the times were, but if she's a starcatcher, at 7 a.m. she's going to be sleeping. And she'll stay sleeping. What was my schedule when I worked in the service industry? If you're staying up all night, sunsets at like 7:30 p.m., you'd probably get up around 6 p.m. So she's rising. Is there like a perfect time to catch stars? I don't know. So I forgot to state earlier in the video, this is gonna take a long time. This is gonna be like months long of a project. I want you guys to know that. We're not spitting this out in like a week. We're not spitting this out in one video. This is one part of several that's going. So there are several parts. I'm not gonna try that sentence today. Let's say 9 p.m. she like clocks in, or whatever this equivalent is. I feel like one of the easiest ways to make an inciting incident is that something falls that's not a star, or like it's a person that falls. Like that's the easiest way to make an inciting incident with this and make her job also required almost. Like if she wasn't a starcatcher, she wouldn't. And why are they needed? They're not currency, because it's rarer than that. What if it's like kind of like an engagement thing, like lovers buy them? We'll go with that. So I don't know if I like that though, because then if lovers buy the fallen stars, my brain immediately goes to, she's cynical at the fact that she is a star catcher because no one's gonna ever buy a star for her. She'll just be the one catching, like always the bridesmaid, never the bride type beat, So I don't know if I love this. Notice how I skipped past this? It's because I thought this was boring. I don't like doing that exercise. Okay, let's make it a little more fun. So she is a black market star dealer. Are stars a drug then? I feel like I could get high. Yeah, okay, so she's a black market star dealer. I love writing criminals. Is our plot blackmail? Because if we're dealing with a standalone, I personally, I don't feel comfortable raising the stakes to the point of like world ruination in a standalone. That's like a serious thing, or a duology thing. I cannot do that in a stand. I have not done that in a standalone. Whatever the stakes are, they have to be lower. Something has to be taken from her, but who? Hold on a second. We're gonna erase this. What at risk? I feel like, yeah. So black market Star Dealer. I can't believe I'm writing these words down. Why does she do it? She does it for the money. And she doesn't really care because the only people who can afford it, her prices anyway, are the people whose minds she's okay with rotting. So they're like the mega wealthy. But when I need to get excited about this though. Where does the love interest come in? Because we gotta have the love interest. Is it enemies to lovers? Like real enemies to lovers? It could very well be. So we've got a black market star dealer and a guy whose brother died of an overdose. Oh God, how would that even work? This is stumping me. I think we may need to go back. Maybe no one has died before. I don't think I like this plot. We're going back. Number one advice ever, if you're ever stuck, just delete the last sentence you wrote and write it a different way. Still, we're gonna stick with black market star dealer though, and we're gonna say that instead it is they heal people. But someone has then none of this is good. After much deliberation, I can't stop thinking about the other one, so I think that we're just gonna sacrifice that one and make it a standalone. Okay, so what did I say that she initially was? I don't want to sacrifice that one. I'm thinking extra hard, can you tell? Oh, initially I had the idea of an FMC who could catch stars. Wait! Now it's working! The FMC who can catch stars and the guy who buys them and turns them into drugs. I'm sold. Okay. When her brother dies from ODing on the drug that he made, she's rightfully very upset. Here's the other thing about enemies to lovers though. You can't think to yourself, oh, how do I get these guys together? I need them to get together stat, because people will know from the onset. No, you have to dig a little bit deeper than that and think, no, what would they do? So what would a woman who catches stars do if the man she despised, if his drug is the thing that killed her brother? She would turn around and start, I have no idea what's happening right now. She would start weaponizing stars. Star power. I'm just a girl. It's probably just stardust. So she would start weaponizing it with the intention of doing the same back to him, with the intention of creating a market he can't survive in. What does she do? She does something. She does something to turn stardust into weapons. And in creating the weapons, she becomes... I can't. She joins the, I don't know, other alchemists. For the war, and takes advantage of the space. Is anybody seeing that guy from ARCANE right now? I certainly am. To start seeking revenge when one of her experiments backfires. Why would she go to him though? He is hoping to be a student. Sorry, I meant to narrate all of my thoughts and feelings. I was thinking initially maybe she invited him to like some kind of truce, but she wouldn't have done that. I thought that perhaps she like physically like stabbed him with something and it bounced back on her. But I'm deciding instead to go the route that he wants to be a student. And she uses her position to make him feel like he's wanted. And when he shows up, she has the intention of like doing something bad to him, but then it backfires on her. Sorry, I like kind of feel bad for him, but then I'm like, your drug killed people. So he wants to be a student here, which is why he's dealing, so he can save up the money for it. He hates her because of things that happened before, and he thinks that she's a stuck-up piece of shit. Also, because he does regret what happened, and part of him does hold himself accountable. He was responsible for his own actions. Like, he is also taking responsibility in that, and in his hatred for himself, he directs that hatred toward her instead. But there's other stuff too. Like, she's a snotty bitch. So it's fine. Anyway, so she uses like official parchment paper to like send him an invitation to some kind of like watching an experiment, and the experiment backfires. I'm thinking that maybe a mentor may see it happen and like hears them bicker or something like that and tells them, because my thought is that now they have to go and find a way to cure her before she kicks the bucket. So it's either her saying like, you owe me this, or someone else stepping in as a third party. You owe me this, and then striking a deal that if he does help her save her own life, she'll allow him a fair chance to get into the school. I like that. So, fair chance. Or she'll write his recommendation. Or rec letter. Or someone else, my thought, came in and was like, if you want this, like, I'll give it to you, but you have to save her first. But I don't think anyone there would kind of do that, because she's embarrassed. Like, this happened, like, and it's her fault. And so she's like, I have to fix this before all of my new coworkers start laughing at me and they kick me out. But the key to knowing what happens next is knowing exactly what went wrong. And I don't know if I've got that in my noggin yet. Just what would she have wanted to do to him? She's a very even person. She likes things to be symmetrical. So an eye for an eye. So in weaponizing, I've been watching too much Breaking Bad. I wanted him to go the same way that her brother went. There's gonna be a lot of grief in this one. Is there a happy ending, or does she die? Because I could kill her, but then it technically wouldn't be a romance novel, and I'd have to write it in third person, which I'm fine with doing. So we're gonna say that she does live, but they go on a hunt to find the thing. But I need this to be a slow death, so are you sure that she didn't fuck it up somehow, some way? Is she able to deflect it? They both get hit! And they have to team up or they're both gonna die. Perfect! That's it. This is gonna be so great. I'm so excited. So now we have to decide where the story really begins. Does it begin and the inciting incident is them both getting hit, kapow, or is the inciting incident her brother dying? Because then, here's the difference. So if her brother dies, then it's a coming of age story. If that's the inciting incident, then it's a coming of age story, because she's learning how to move through her grief and how to live without him. If the inciting incident is them both getting hit, then it's a quest. Because in order to survive, like they have to, and while both things are happening and she's dealing with her grief, like the form of the story kind of shifts on a wheel a little bit, and it just tilts a little further into another direction. So we're gonna write a quest, and we're gonna say that the story starts, I don't want it to be her first day, but I need the inciting incident to be him. She is forging a document. That is where our story starts. She's forging the document. Forgery. Awesome. I'm so excited. Oh wait, okay, so yeah, well, I think we're gonna have to figure out the rest later because I don't know. Like, I know that there's gonna be a happy ending, but I don't know the... I don't know what her... I don't know what it looks like. Like, I gotta figure out the magic system first. I'm not gonna do that tonight. So this is the book that we're writing. A starcatcher starts working at an alchemist's, like, laboratory for the sake of a war. But the war that they're fighting is not the war that she's fighting, because the war that she's fighting is a deeply personal one. And chooses to weaponize stardust to get back at the drug dealer whose drug killed her brother. And when they're both struck with the poison, they have to work together to save their own lives, or they're going to crumble into ash. I feel like I should give them a deadline too. 7 days? We'll go 7. We'll go 7 days. Can they fall in love in 7 days? We are about to